Hey everybody, it's Ebony, and I just want to give you a quick update on what's going on with me here in Shenzhen, China. You may have heard on the news that we're in lockdown, and that will be true. Today is Thursday, March 17th, and we are in lockdown. So, depending on who you ask, we went into lockdown on Monday. But for me, we went on lockdown yesterday, Wednesday, the 16th, because I tried to leave and go get tested, and they wouldn't let me leave the complex. But luckily, I have this fabulous view that I can look at every day while I'm on lockdown, and I have enough food. I'm fine. Everything is good. And they have an amazing delivery system here, online ordering, all of that. So no worries. As you can see from my view here, there's a highway here, and there's not many cars on the road, mainly just trucks on the road, because on Monday, the metro and the buses, basically all public transportation just stopped. They said you can't take any public transportation. So that happened on Monday, and here we are on Thursday, and still no public transportation. However, you can take a taxi or ride sharing or ride hauling like Didi, and it might be Uber where you are. Everybody's working from home now, at least most people are, and the internet is terrible. Your screen freezing up when you gotta do video calls. Let me give you the rundown on the days leading up to us going into lockdown. On Sunday, I was able to leave my apartment and go get tested as usual in the morning. This is what the line looked like behind me after I was done testing. This is why I like to get up early in the morning to go get tested. I'd rather get there 20-30 minutes early and stand in the front of the line than get there later on and be in this long line. So on Sunday, March 13th, Shenzhen reported 86 total cases. Now China, they divide their cases up according to if you have symptoms, if you're asymptomatic, or if you're an imported case. So some sources reported that Shenzhen had 75 cases, and those were locally confirmed transmitted cases. On Sunday night around 9 p.m., Shenzhen announced that they would suspend public transportation, meaning the buses and the metro trains, starting on Monday, the next day. However, you could still take a taxi or a Didi. On Monday morning, I go out and get my test as usual. The tube in my hand just indicates that I'm the first one in the next batch of testers. These are the people waiting in line behind me on Monday, waiting to get tested. On Monday the 14th, the total cases were 60 cases. 39 were locally confirmed cases, meaning they had symptoms. 21 of those were asymptomatic. On Monday, it was reported that Shenzhen went into lockdown. Remember, I was able to leave my apartment on Monday, so I didn't consider it lockdown. But since they were telling people to work from home, they considered it to be lockdown. And some people weren't able to leave their apartments or general area. On Tuesday, I was able to leave my apartment as usual. I'm leaving early in the morning around 8:30 so I can go get tested as I usually do. One thing different about this morning was on my way out, they asked to see my code. Typically, they only ask to see my code when I come back. This morning, he asked to see my code and make sure that I was tested in the last 24 hours before I left. He asked me to scan the sign that's in front on that board, but that doesn't work for foreigners. And so I just showed him the typical code that foreigners show, and he let me go. The place that I tested on Sunday and Monday turned me away on Tuesday. They said go back and test in your residential area. So I'm going to this location that's actually closer to where I live, but they don't start testing until 9:30. The other location starts testing at 9. I like to get tested as early as possible so I can get back home and start my online sessions at 10:30. As of yesterday, March 14th, Shenzhen has been on lockdown. Supposed lockdown. Lockdown to me is when you locked in the house and you can't leave. But no buses are running, no metro trains are running, and some apartment complexes are locked down. People cannot leave. People can go inside if they can prove they live there, but people cannot leave if they have a positive case in their apartment complex. People were hoarding food again, like in 2020. I haven't had a need to go to the store, so I didn't go. Yeah, so a lot of people are at home, so the internet sucks a lot more now. But we're having to test every day. It's like I tested almost every day for the last 3 weeks or so. It's kind of hell. But yeah, this is what we have to deal with. Standing in line for tests. So this is lockdown Shenzhen. Day number 2. This sticker was given to me indicating that I had been tested that day. Typically, the sticker is different every day, but they may call for a round of testing, meaning they may say get tested every day for the next 3 days, and those stickers may be the same every day. At the end of testing on Tuesday, March 15th, Shenzhen had a total of 92 cases. 55 of those were confirmed locally transmitted cases. Now that brings us to Wednesday, March 16th. I'm leaving as usual, 8 o'clock in the morning once again to go get my test around 8:30 a.m. I get to the gate and notice something different. The guard is not standing there waiting to see my code, but he just waves at me like saying no. And I was like, come see my code. Like, I want to show you that I've been tested in the last 24 hours. Even though my code said 48 hours, I was trying to show him on my phone. It said that I tested the day before. So he shows me something on his phone in Chinese, and I'm like, I don't understand. I can't read Chinese. So I get my phone off of the holder so I can scan it and translate it. And he's putting his head in the way where I can't see to translate. But once I translated, it said something like only doctors and certain people can leave the apartment complex. I tried to use Google Translate to get him to speak into my phone and translate what he was saying, but Google Translate wasn't translating his words correctly. You can see in my mirror that the other guard was there watching, seeing what was going on. Also during this time, you can see delivery guys coming in and out of the complex. Now someone else arrives, a lady. I don't know where she's from. I think she works in the management office. She speaks a little English, but not enough to really communicate fully what is going on and what happened. She shows me eventually an article on her phone from the government saying that there needs to be lockdown situation in apartment complexes and not let people in and out unnecessarily. And I'm like, I can't speak Chinese, lady, so I probably can't read it. So she typed something on her phone in her translator, and I kind of understand basically that I can't leave. And I was like, well, I need to be tested. And she said, well, you can test in our complex, on the 3rd floor at 3 o'clock. And I was like, wow, 3 o'clock. It's going to be a long line. And she was like, no, it's going to be like 10 minutes. And I was like, yeah, right. It is day 3 of the lockdown. Today is lockdown for real. They wouldn't let me leave my apartment complex today. Go down here and look at my packages on my package. This is the area where they started to put the packages when the cases started going up a few days ago. I'm not sure why they do this, but I guess it's to air out the packages in case they have the virus on them. I'm not sure. But typically they would put the packages in that red cabinet you see ahead. Now here is where the delivery guys put the groceries. This is where you would pick up your groceries if you ordered them online or pick up your takeout. The delivery guys will come through the front gate, drop it off here, and then leave back out. During normal times, the delivery guys will drop your groceries off at your front door. This brings us to the 3 p.m. testing the lady told me about earlier in the morning. This is what it looked like. Very chaotic, very unorganized. People everywhere. People didn't know where to stand in line at. They kept moving tables. You had different people telling you what to do. Stand over here, stand over there. And it was just very chaotic. There was no social distancing once the lines were made. It was just very unorganized. Typically, China has their stuff together as far as this testing situation goes. It's very organized, very quick. But I think this was the first day that they were testing in my complex, so things were a little chaotic. Once they started getting things together, they organized people according to the building that they live in. We have like buildings A through F in our complex. I live in building A, so I was in the line for building A. We were kind of standing off to the side and there was a lady helping us, but she was walking back and forth doing other things and then coming back. There was a lady that you see in the black and white shirt, the striped shirt. She said, this is for line A, come over here. And then she kind of pulled me towards the table. I really appreciated that she did that. Thought that was nice of her. Once I got to the table, I had to fill out a form, put my apartment number, my name, telephone number, and passport number. The lady here at the table, she spoke enough English to tell me what to put in each section, so I really appreciated that. After I filled everything out on this sheet, she gives me a card that has dates on it through Sunday, March 20th. I need to take this card with me every day I get tested, along with my passport, so I can get a stamp every time I get tested. I finally get my test and I'm on my way. On my way out, I get a stamp for the 16th and I am done with the madness. When it was all said and done, I was there a little over an hour, about an hour and 15 minutes. I got over there around 2:30-ish because, you know, I like to be early and beat the crowd, and I finished somewhere around 3:45. This is the card they gave me that I need to take every day with me when I go get tested so I can get a stamp for each day. Once testing was done for the day on March 16th, Shenzhen had 91 new cases. 71 of those cases were locally transmitted confirmed cases, and 20 of those were asymptomatic cases. This is a screenshot from the app we use to find testing locations. I was told that Shenzhen has a location within 15-minute walking distance of each residential area. This is a screenshot of a personal QR code that can be scanned at any testing location across Shenzhen that we choose to go to get tested. This is the green code that most foreigners use to show when we want to leave our building, come in our building, go to different businesses, go to the store, go to the doctor, And here lately, they have been asking that you have had a test in the last 24 hours. This code also shows if you've been vaccinated. The line on the QR code shows that I have been vaccinated with 2 vaccine shots so far. I am due for my 3rd shot sometime after March 19th. This area is called the SeaWorld area. There's a lot of bars and restaurants here and other activities that take place. It's very popular with foreigners and Chinese people. Typically, this area doesn't look like this with these orange barriers. Recently, at the beginning of March, they put these up once the cases started going up. I was curious if they had these barriers all the way around the SeaWorld location, so I rode around to have a look. Typically, when they put up these barriers, it's to minimize the entries and exits that people can use. The entries and exits that they leave open, they can regulate the people that come and go, and they can make you show your code when you come and go. This is my visit to Walmart earlier in March, and they had these barriers up as well. Before I entered, I had to show my code, I think at least to 2 people before I was able to enter into the store. This is a blocked off street near where I live. There were cases on this street, so they blocked the front and the back so no one can enter or exit. Here's another blocked off street and area. I believe there were cases in this area as well, so they blocked it off with these barriers. As you can see, they put these barriers up all around the city when they want to reduce the entries and exits for people to come and go, or when they want to keep people in a certain area when there are cases. Now, that was just a glimpse into the lockdown here in Shenzhen. I hope you found this video insightful. Now it's time for me to get back to working from home. That includes making videos for my children, making videos for you all, enjoying my lovely view, among other things. Okay, like and subscribe. Zaijian.